What's up, Mystic Manifesting family? Nick with Mystic Manifesting here, and it's the third video. This is three in a row. That's pretty impressive for me, seeing as it's been a couple months since I've done videos. This video is going to be called Simple Manifesting. Now, I've got a bunch of videos where we're talking about getting back to the basics, things like that. Um, let's try to re-up that trend and go back to the very basics of manifesting. And we'll start with the great words of Sir Neville Goddard. Where do we begin? We begin at the end. It's a very eloquent line. I like the way that he phrased it because it's true. When we are somewhere we don't want to be in life, when our present reality is something shitty and horrible that we don't like, we tend to just focus on that and how do we get out of it. So you're stuck here and it's like, how do I get out? And it's like you could only see a little bit ahead of you, and it's only you have very limited view of what you could do to get out of it. And it's like, all I could see from here is this option or this option to escape this bad circumstance, which kind of goes to that line that I learned from Greg Plitt, which is you're so lost in the trees you can't see the forest. You're here looking at the problem. Take a step back and look at the problem. It's not a problem in 5 years from now. In 5 years from now, whatever you're facing, think about your biggest problems you've had in the past. They're no longer your problems. You've beat them because you're still here. You're still standing. You are undefeated in life. I want you to remember that. You are fucking undefeated in life. I'm gonna lean in to tell you this. You are undefeated in life. Every problem, obstacle, or bad thing that's ever happened to you, you have beat it. You're here. That problem's not here anymore. And remember, we remove our attention from things that we don't want. So by removing your attention, you further beat the problem. And by going to the end, we are removing attention from the present limiting circumstance and going to the end. If you are in a bad breakup and you really want this ex back, which is the number one thing everybody always goes on manifesting for, I wish we could talk about other stuff, but I'm obliged to give the audience what they want. And what they want is to hear about getting their ex back, right? Well, go to the end in 1 year from now. You don't have to go from 1 year from now because the more you think about the time frame of it, it will probably take about a year. But you go with the mindset of I'm no more than 2 weeks away from a miracle. Good things happen to me. Like that's like your affirmation and your general belief, which I always had. But before you get too into the nitty gritty and the details, the devil's in the details. Remember, they say that the devil's in the details. You're so focused on I need to do this and this and this and all these little things. And did I do enough affirmations today? And what time is it? Oh, it's almost time for bed. I got to make sure I sit down and do sats today. Otherwise, everything is lost. So lost in those details that it corrupts your mind. Simplest way to manifest, let's keep it simple. KISS, keep it simple, stupid, right? Go to the end. In the end, what is life like with your SP? Most of us in that situation, you are sad and angry and depressed, and you just want to have some kind of communication. And you'll do anything for that communication. You will text and blow up the phone or try to find ways around being blocked or show up at the same place at the same time as them to get what you want. And it's always met by failure and rejection. Why? Because you're doing something to get something with the back of your mind, believing that it's going to backfire and fail. You know it deep in your core. You know it's not going to happen and work out the way you want. But you feel every fiber of your anxiety and anxious being that you got to do it. And I'm talking shit because I've been that person and I've experienced it and I've had the sand kicked in my face metaphorically. So I was gonna make a joke and say literally, but I've never been the guy who's had the actual sand kicked in his face. Anyway, jump to the end. Before I keep rambling, we'll keep you here for an hour. At the end, you don't have fights with the SP, so you're not thinking about fights. Your attentions are off that. Your attention's off that. Your attention's on a beautiful, loving conversation. You desire communication. This is the number one thing. How do I get communication? Give it to yourself. What's the technique to give it to yourself, which implies living in the end and is living in the end? In the present moment, you could live from the end and be like, whatever you're thinking about that you would like to talk about. Think about what do you want to talk about with SP? Tell it to SP in your imagination. And the imaginary ideal version, which is going to soon exist in the real world but exists right now in your mind, can speak back to you. And what did they say to you? And now how do you respond to that? And you get so lost in that, You're not thinking about the horrible, shitty asshole version of them that's existing in your reality. That one's going to fall off and disappear, and you're going to shift into a reality where you're with the ideal version. At the end of the day, when you're going to sleep, what is that? What is the end of the story that implies that you're together with them? You're going to sleep in bed with them next to you. You're imagining you're laying in bed together. You're having maybe an inner conversation. And I will tell you from personal experience, those things happened. Those conversations happened. Not word for word, but very, very, very close to word for word. This is real. It happens. Otherwise, I wouldn't be putting my face out here. And that's what I did. I went right to the end. This is the most basic principle. Go to the end. So that's when you wake up in the morning and you're grateful for things you have. This is a underused technique. It's one that I've been getting back to. You're grateful for things that you don't have and the things you do have. Gratitude is such a fucking powerful thing. And I've got videos on it. And I'm going to keep making videos on it because it's so important. And I'm going to keep talking about it in the lives. You wake up and you say very simple stuff. And it's true that you're grateful for it, but you forget because you take it for granted. I'm grateful I could walk. I'm grateful my body's healthy. I'm grateful I could see. I'm grateful there's food in the fridge. I'm grateful there's a roof over my head. I'm grateful I have a place to live now. And then throw in something else. I'm grateful I'm a millionaire. And your body's going to be like, what? And then it's like, I'm so grateful that I don't have to clip my toenails this morning. I'm so grateful I have a toothbrush and toothpaste. I'm so grateful SP's laying in my bed. Your brain's like, wait, what the fuck? I'm so grateful I have a car to drive to a job that I'm grateful for. Even though I don't always like it, I'm grateful I get to go to work today. I'm grateful there's money in the bank. And I'm grateful for, and then like you keep slipping in things. And before the subconscious in the morning, your brain is programming, trying to figure out who the fuck you are, where are you, what are you doing, and what is your purpose, and who are you to the rest of the world, and how do you see the rest of the world, and what are you giving off? Your brain's putting all that together right when you fucking wake up. So that's when you trick it. You trick the subconscious, and it is a technique and a method and what worked for me. So that's very simple. In the morning you could do that. In the nighttime you're going to do the assuming that you're sleeping with that SP again. Then have inner conversations throughout the day. Those are the three things I give to every single client. And obviously, if you work with me, like there's you have your own individual story, and I talk about this before. I'm blessed to have gone through every fucking horrible situation with a specific person and manifest her back through all that because I learned to experience all these different things. I always prayed to be a better coach. There were some things I didn't experience that happened in the middle of coaching that helped me become a better coach. So whatever you ask for, you will receive. Having that mentality, getting hobbies, because I'm going heavily on the specific person thing because, like I said, this is what everyone always asks about. But it works for money too. It works for jobs. Like I said, that one job, and I've referenced it in all three of the videos I've made today. But that one job I was working, I've been reflecting on it a lot. Every day for like 6 months, I said, today's my last day of work. I'm so thankful that I don't have to come back here. Oh, I remember this. Oh, I got to remember. And there was a thing I would pack up all my tools in my bag and bring it in my fucking car. And then every morning I would come and unpack them again. And that was a very depressing feeling. And I was just, when I finally, after a few months, broke into the fact of this is my new locker, new place. I'm unpacking my tools here. I'm so grateful to be here before I break away from the locker and see I'm somewhere else that I am at the current place I didn't want to be. I would be focused on when I'm grabbing them all. This is how I'm getting myself in the feeling, and I'm submerging myself. Why did it take 6 months? I don't know. I can't tell you the reason things take longer or shorter periods of time. Thing is your goal worth it? Are you willing to do whatever it takes and wait however long it takes and be patient for the reward? Because at the big scheme of things, it's like if it's a job, you're going to be working for a very long time or possibly a long time or for the foreseeable future. Is it worth waiting 6 months or a year? Which is what I did about a year. It was about a year, but 6 months dialed in, and then the final three were like really locked in. It's like, are you willing to go through that? Are you willing to go through all the heartache, pain, possible backfires of manifestation, the learning process, and the growth and the spiritual journey that comes with manifesting your ex back or manifesting this perfect person or a specific person through that love journey? Are you prepared? Is the outcome, that's the thing in life, is the outcome of the desire worth it to you so much that you're willing to go through any heartache, pain, spiritual, physical, whatever thing you have to go through to get to it? That's what you have to remind yourself of. How much do you want that goal? Why do you want that goal? What is the true reason? Because another simple manifesting thing is, before we start at the end, like Neville said, start at the end, but know exactly what you want. And I had talked about this in the Manifest Your SP videos, knowing exactly what you want. I knew that I wanted my ex back. And then I gave myself reasons. I want because of this and this and this. I had my reasons, right? But I also said at one point when it felt hard, and this was a breakthrough for me, and actually this is one of the times I manifested her back, was like I prayed and I gave it up to God. I said, God, I trust you, and I don't care if it takes 1 year or 2 years or what I have to see or what I have to go through. I promise to live my life. I promise to continue on and to do what I must, but I know this is what I want. And you almost get that feeling is, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure this is what I want. And that prayer, that relaxed state of just surrendering it to God, brought it in fast. It was like kind of, there was other stuff going on that time where I talk about balls to the wall, throwing everything at the manifestation. But I was really dialed in and focused and willing. But the true core of it is, I'm not just saying that. Like, you don't go out there and just say that prayer to say it. I felt it in my core. I felt that peace, that love, and the understanding that I really will wait. It doesn't matter. And in the meantime, I'm not going to beat myself up every day. I'm going to give myself the gift of that relationship every single day for as long as I can. Whenever it felt natural and easy or felt good to do, I did it. Because when you're in a relationship, you're not talking to the person all day, every day. Yeah, some of us would want that. I mean, myself included. It's like, yeah, it would be nice. But I have to go to work. She has to go to work. I need to get my ass back into making videos and doing more lives. I've got goals to do. We both go to the gym. She's got family. I got family. She got friends. I got friends. We have lives to live. So you spin the stories. It's like, because it's the same as if you're in the relationship or you're not in the relationship. If you're not in the relationship and you're not seeing them, you got to understand what's going to happen when you're in a relationship too. So, oh, it's a Friday night and you're not together. Go out with your friends and have fun with your friends, because she's having a girls' night, or if you're a lady, he's having a boys' night. You're out with the girls. Go do something fun, and don't forget to live your life. And there's no rules to this. So it's whatever works for you. That's another simple manifesting thing. So there's no rules to this. You take the techniques that work for you. I gave you the ones that work for me. I've tested all of the techniques. I have success stories with all of the techniques, because if I'm gonna be a teacher, I have to hold myself accountable and prove the stuff. I To me, I mean, anyone could go out and reiterate the shit. To me, I have to prove it to myself and show you receipts to show you that this isn't bullshit, because it's what I wanted to see. I created this channel because I wanted to give people what I was looking for at that time. So I'm giving you what I learned. And this is the most simple, those are like simple manifesting techniques. Go know exactly down to the T what you want. Go to the end. What makes you feel good? What is the end result of it? Okay, you want to be in a relationship, but why? This kind of goes with know exactly what you want, but why? 5 years from now, where do you see yourself with SP? Is it married with kids and stuff like that, and a house and everything? What does the house look like? How does it feel? You're at work. How does it feel to go home? When you think about home, don't think about your apartment by yourself with your cat, with your cat who spits boogers everywhere, which I have. Like, don't think about going home to the boogery cat in the messy apartment. It's a condo. There's an inside joke about that I have. Uh, but don't think about going back there. You're going to the mansion to go see that SP of your dreams. You've got this amount of money. You're at a job you don't want to be at. Before you go there, you're just, another technique I would use is like, I remember when I worked this job, so no matter how ball busting the work was that day, it's like, I'm just treating it like a memory. It's like I'm doing the work and experiencing it, but I'm trying to remove myself, like I'm almost observing myself do the work, where it's like, I remember when I was doing this horrible shit. Thank God I'm not in that position no more. So That's another technique. But it's like when you're thinking about throughout the day, if you say, I can't wait to go home, what flashes in your head real quick? For me, it's probably a cigar. I could taste a little bit of the meal I know I'm going to eat from my meal preps that night. Usually I like to select what I'm going to eat before I leave the house, and I put that at the front of the fridge because when I come in, the shoes come off. I take my pee and I run straight to the fridge and throw that thing in there for 2 minutes and I eat. I know what I'm going to be eating when I get home. But you think about sometimes the route pops up, sometimes the color or something like that, but you know where you live. So try to put it in your head. It's like, how does that relationship feel? How does it feel to have that money? Where it's like you're gonna go grocery shopping and you might be short on funds and you're worried about it, but you know you have enough to pay for the groceries. But it's like, but it's gonna draw me real close to like being out of money. Well, you know you're gonna be able to cover your groceries, so why are you worried about being close to being out of money? You're not gonna be out of money and your groceries are going to be covered. You're abundant. I've got plenty of money in the bank. I have enough to buy these and money left over. What you just said is true and a fact. But feel how it feels to like have mountains and mountains of money. It's like I could buy these 3 times over. You're not going to do it, and you don't need to do it. But telling yourself that and feeling that makes you feel like you have that much money, and then you go forward from there. Now we're already at 16 minutes. These are long videos I'm making. I like to ramble on. I like to try to make you laugh because I know through a manifesting process you could be feeling lonely, down, and whatever. And most of the time we're trying to keep our minds preoccupied while we're working. And from the people I've worked with, there's a lot of people working labor jobs or people working jobs where they're working from home and they could listen to whatever they want while they're work. So if my voice makes you feel soothed somehow, which surprisingly people have told me that, and I never saw how because I don't like. That's the reason I haven't edited a lot of cool like edits that I have in my mind because I don't like listening to my own voice. Maybe that's a self concept I should work on. But regardless, I believe that the longer videos might help you, and it's just I repeat the same points again and again and again. That's my style in life. I do repeat things a lot, but it's because I'm reminding you, and in a way, I'm reminding myself of these points that we need to realize. It's manifesting. It's extremely simple. Do not get lost in the details of, oh, I have to do this many times, and if I don't do that, and I got a schedule. I relate it to working out a lot, but you don't need to relate it to working out where it's like I have to do this many sets of affirmations and this many reps of scripting and all. You don't have to do all that, but you do have to know exactly what you want and go to the end. Going to the end is not just visualizing the end, but it's visualizing or affirming or scripting to feel that it's done already. It's the feeling. Feeling is the secret. You go to those places, you do those things, you do these techniques to manifest. But how do you manifest? Through feelings. Well, that's a very simple breakdown. If you're stuck with me this far, I thank you. I don't even know if I plugged the coaching already. I've always been statistically bad at that. It's a negative affirmation, but statistically, I have not always talked about it. So I try to remind you about the coaching. It's September still, so it's discounted from the 100 an hour to 150 for the hour session with me to work through whatever problems you want to work through. And you could send me an email. You could book it through Calendarly. I'll put all the links down below. If you want to message me, it's uh, mysticmanifesting@gmail.com or flex_Lassiter on Instagram. It's not hard to find me. I put links everywhere. Look for me and you'll find me. What you seek, you will find. Remember, you can't fuck this up. It's all working out in your favor. Keep looking for how it's working out in your favor, and it will. I love you very much, and I'll see you in the next video or the next live. But I'll be around. Love you guys.